Flash and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street. Case on the news.
Now we're cooking. It's a coach. You're set for Madden football on EA Sports. Coming up.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. 10-2 stop.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brian Burns able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. He'll drop to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying, we'll take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Now Spiller. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 3. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Panther first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down now. It's Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
13 yards, 1st down, Panthers. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Exit.
Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw is incomplete. Right there on the coverage to knock that ball away was Mike Hughes. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Panther football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Young. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Spiller. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5. Deep in the red zone, seemed like they had their mind made up that that was 4-down territory. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On the carry, it's Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
30 base.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type of production.
That's a good call because he's a known entity. See how they defend him going forward. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
They run with Spiller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Alert, alert.
Switch gears. Set, go.
This is Spiller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards and a Panther first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
The quick slant caught. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Partner, if you and I were playing quarterback in this one, we would be really confident right now throwing it to him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's just saying, hey, I was all state. And he's going to bowl his way in for a Panther score. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Point after, right down the middle.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers set to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll look to throw here. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted up falling in.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on first down. Now this one complete on the slant route, and he gets it down to the 32. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2nd and 1. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Here's Spiller. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Again, they run it with Spiller. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. They'll give to Spiller. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there sometime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves,
rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
2nd and 2. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 7 yards there and a first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Check.
Ready?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now back to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion when just shy of the marker. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down.
Ready? 10 too soft.
It's a gain of 10.
Double up.
And a
He's coming,
Panther
double up.
first down.
61, matchbox lights. Let's go.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Hey, lock it.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. He'll look to throw. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
He's got a little daylight. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 43. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Carolina, They move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans.